back to Mayhem and Family Fun. I am in a new room. Normally I would be recording in my room, but today I'm recording in the laundry room. Hey, yay! You can see below me is my book bag. So, we are starting day 5 of the Peter Rabbit story read aloud by Vanessa. Yesterday I did day 3 and 4. Yesterday. Sorry, the laundry room is connected to my dad and mom's bathroom. So you just heard a toilet flush in the background. So, yesterday was a very messy day. I forgot to do it, so that's why I did 2 chapters in one day. But right now we are going to do 1 chapter of Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle. We're going to read. Let's go! Okay, there's her. With an iron in her hand. Once upon a time, there's a little girl called Lucy who lived at a farm called Little Town. She was a good girl, only she was always losing her pocket handkerchiefs. One day, little Lucy came into the farmyard crying, "Oh!" She did cry so. "I've lost my pocket hand pin. These 3 hand pins and a penny. Have you seen them, Tabby Kitten?" So there's her asking the kitten. The kitten was washing her white paws, so Lucy asked a speckled hen. I'm going to climb up here. I'm going to record back here. Better. Just gotta move it over. There we go. The kitten went on washing her white paws, so Lucy asked the speckled hen, "Sally, Henny, Penny, have you found these 3 pocket handkins?" But the speckled hen ran to the barn clucking, "I go barefoot, I go barefoot, I go barefoot." So there is her asking the speckled hen. I got a little bit of musical in the video. And when Lucy asked Cock Robin sitting on a twig, the Cock Robin looked sideways at Lucy with his bright black eye, and he flew over a settle on away. Lucy climbed upon the stile and looked up at the hill behind Little Town, a hill that goes up and up onto the clouds as though it had no top. And a great way up the hillside, she thought she saw some white things upon the grass. So there she is on the stones. I'm not getting much room over here, but I can't move over there because my phone's going to go through the behind. Lucy scrambled up the hill fast as her little stout legs would carry her. She ran along a steep pathway up and up, up and up and up, until Little Town was right down below. She could have dropped a pebble down the chimney. There is her, running as fast as her little legs can carry her. There's so many hangers. I'm not getting any room over here, but just stay quiet. Well, maybe I should. There we go. This is much better. Presently, she came on the spring bubbling out from the hillside. Someone had stood in a tin can upon the stone to catch the water, but the water was already running over, for the can was no bigger than the egg cup. And where the sand was upon the path was wet. There were footmarks of a very small person. Lucy ran on and on. She kept running. She didn't care. The path ended up under a big rock. The grass was short and green, and there were clothes props cut up by bracket stems, and with lines of plaited rushes, and a heap tile of teeny clothespins, but no packet hand grips. But there was something else. A door straight into the hill. Inside it, someone was singing. Lily white and clean, oh, white little frills between, oh, smooth and hot and rusty red spot, never here to be seen, oh. And long way to go before the chapter. Lucy knocked once, and then twice. It interrupted the song. A little frightened voice called out, "Who's that?" Lucy opened the door, and what do you think was inside the hill? A nice, clean lake. Oh, I forgot to show you the picture. So there is her finding the door in the hill. A flagged floor and wooden beams, just like any other farm kitchen. Only the ceiling was so low that Lucy's head nearly touched it. And the pots and pans were small, and everything was smaller. Must be something small that lives in there, though. Here's her going inside. It was a nice hot swimming smell, and at the end of the table, with an iron in her hand, stood a very stout person staring obnoxiously at Lucy. Her print gown was tucked up, and she was wearing a large apron over her striped bedcoat. Her little white nose stuffle, and when her eyes went, and underneath her cap where Lucy had yellow curls, that little person had prickles. Ouch. There's her meeting whoever this strange woman is. Who are you? Who are you? Maybe that's a better one, said Lucy. Have you seen my pocket handkins? The little person made a bobbsy curtsy. Oh, yes, if you please. My name is Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle. Oh, yes, if you please, I'm an excellent clear scatter. And she took something out of clothes basket and spread it across the iron blanket. There is her. What's that thing? Said Lucy. That's not my pocket handkin. Oh, no, if you please, that's a little scarlet waistcoat belonging to Cock Robin. And she ironed it and folded it and put it on one side. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here. It's a picture. Then she took something else. Of a clown horse. Clothes horse. This isn't my penny, said Lucy. Oh, no, if you please, that's a dastment tablecloth belonging to Jenny Warren. Look how it's stained with a currant wine. It's very bad to wash, said Miss Tiggy-Winkle. There's her, looking at the tablecloth. Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle's nose went, and her eyes went, and she fetched another hot iron from the fire. And there she's getting her iron from the fire. There'd be a joke in there because irons are hot, so it's fire. Put those together, a super spicy, mega spicy iron. That's genius. Not really. Useful. Useless. There's one of my pocket handkins, cried Lucy. And there's my penny. Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle ironed it and golfed it and shook it out of the frills. Oh, that is lovely. I'm worried since it is small. There's her finding her pocket handkin, I think. Maybe. And those are long yellow. And what are those long yellow things with fingers like gloves? Oh, that's a pair of stockings belonging to Sally, Henny, and Penny. Look how she's worn the heels out of the scratching in the yard. She'll be soon go barefoot, said Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle. So there's the long things. That looks like you can wear as gloves. Ow, I keep hitting myself on this. Why, there's another hand sniff. But isn't that mine? It's red. Oh no, if you please, and that one belongs to old Mrs. Rabbit. And it did so smell of onions. I had to wash it separately. I can't get the smell out of it. Maybe there's an onion inside of it. You didn't think about that. There's another one of mine, said Lucy. There's her looking at Mrs. Rabbit, old Mrs. Rabbit. What are those funny little white things? That's a pair of mittens belonging to Tabby Kitten. I only have to iron them. She watches them herself. And there's my lost pocket handkin, said Lucy. Ow! I'm going to scoot over it a little bit. I'm hitting myself against that. And what are you dipping inside the back of the basin of scratch? They're my little shirt fawns belonging to Tom Titmouse. What a terrible particular, said Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle. Now I've finished my ironing. Now I'm going to go air some clothes. She's like that woman that irons everything. So there's her doing her, finishing her iron stuff. What are these dear fluffy things, said Lucy. Oh, those are the woolly clothes belonging to the little snaps of Sahangala. Will their jackets come off? Asked Lucy. Oh, yes, if you please, and look at the sheet mark on the shoulder. And here's one marked from Gates' graph. And there's that comes from a little town. They're always marked at washing, said Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle. So there is her. We're almost done. Just 2 more pages. This and that page. This and this. And this and this. And then we're on to the next chapter, which will be day 6 tomorrow. Or any day that I can do it. And she had up all sorts and sizes of clothes. Small brown coats of mice. And one very black whole skin waistcoat. And a red tailcoat with no tail belonging to the squirrel. Nutkin. Squirrel Nutkin, that squirrel, on day 2, that got his tail came off. What a poor little squirrel. By an eagle. A very much shrunk blue jacket belonging to Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit! Day 1! And a peacoat not marked had gone lost in the washing. And at last, the bucket was empty. So, the video's not over, I'm just saying. If you haven't watched one and day 2, you gotta go watch them. They're amazing. The first one I ever did was Peter Rabbit Tales. The next one I did was Squirrel Nutkin. That was a great story. So listen to those stories. They're very good. Let's get back to the video. We're back. There's this. Then Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle made a tea in a cup herself and a cup for Lucy. Then they sat before the fire on a bench, looked sideways at one another. Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle's hand holding the teacup was very, very brown. And very, very wrinkly with the soap suds, and all through her gown and her cap, where her hairpins sticking wrong end out, so that Lucy didn't like to sit too near her. So there is her, having their nice tea. they had finished tea, they tied up the clothes in the bundles, and Lucy's pocket handkerchiefs were folded up inside her clean penny and are fastened with a silver safety pin. And they made up the fire after and came out and locked the door, and they hid the key under the door sill. There is her putting the key underneath the door. Then, away down the hill trotted Lucy and Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle with the bundles of clothes. All the way down the path, little animals came out of the fern to meet them. At first, the very first that they met were Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny. I think Peter Rabbit was day one. Benjamin, I'm pretty sure was grown up in. Day two was day 3. So you can see in the eagle corner for meeting the bunnies. See right there. And then she gave them their nice clean clothes, and all the little animals and birds were so much to dear Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle. So they're giving all the birds and all the mice and all their clothes back. So at the bottom of the hill, when they came to the hill, there was nothing left to carry except Lucy's one bundle. So there they are with her clean clothes that she has to take back to the village. Last page. We have this and that page to read. Lucy scrambled up the stile with the bundle in her hand, and then she returned to say goodnight and then thank you to wish to the woman. But what a very odd thing. Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle had not waited either for thanks from the wishing barrel. She was running and running up the hill, and there was her white fur cap, and her shawl, and her gown, and her petticoat. So there she is, losing another thing. And how small she had gown, and how brown covered with prickles. Why, Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle was nothing but a hedgehog. There's her as a hedgehog. And then there's a little side. Now, some people say that Lucy has been asleep upon the stile, but that would have been 3 cocked handcuffs and a penny, pinned with a silver safety pin. Besides, I've seen that door in the back of the hill called Cat's Bells, and besides, I'm very acquainted with dear Mrs. Tiggy-Winkle. The end. So I hope you enjoyed day 5 of Peter Rabbit's stories, tales. Day 5. So if you haven't watched day 4 and 3, you gotta go watch them. They're very nice videos. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye!